Lewis Hamilton will start today's Qatar Grand Prix on pole position as he looks to reduce Max Verstappen's lead in the world title race from his current 14-point cushion. The Mercedes driver could be helped even further if the stewards decide to give the Red Bull driver a grid penalty for ignoring a double yellow flag during qualifying. And as things stand, Verstappen will begin in second place behind Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas. Lando Norris starts in sixth with George Russell down in 15th. And we're delighted to say we're joined by our Formula One correspondent, Rosanna Tennant, who's live in Qatar right now. Good morning, Rosanna.
Good morning.
Listen, great to see you. It's a great track, isn't it, Qatar? They love racing there.
Well, it's the first time we're going to go racing there because Formula One's never visited Qatar before. It's a bit more of a motorbike track. MotoGP been visiting for years. And so there's been a lot of unknowns coming into this weekend. So looking forward to 57 laps of the Losail International Circuit. It's going to be an exciting one.
I mean, I'm just going to go straight to it. How is this going to go? Because I guess it makes a difference as far as Verstappen is concerned and how this ruling. Now, when is that going to be and when will we know?
Max Verstappen is being called to see the stewards at 1 o'clock local time here in Doha, and then a decision will be taken. The rumour is that it could actually be a 5 grid place drop. So, of course, that will push him further back and further away from Lewis Hamilton. Although I think we're all kind of hoping that we see Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen go wheel to wheel, lining up on the front row. That's what you want to see, your biggest championship rivals going head to head. But we will find out, hopefully, quickly after the 1 o'clock meeting, because some of the decisions have been taking a little bit of time to come through over this weekend, with lots of controversy going on off track.
Lewis was unbelievable yesterday. I mean, after Brazil last week and now this and that last lap that he did, he was on fire, wasn't he? Probably the wrong thing to say for Formula One, but he was terrific.
He was on fire. Absolutely brilliant. Fabulous to watch. A little bit of doubt as he headed out for that final run in the last part of qualifying. People wondering whether he'd gone at the right time. He was out first, whereas it was looking like the last person on track would probably clean up and take the fastest lap. And that actually was going to be Max Verstappen. But as you said, double yellow flags waved because of Pierre Gasly's tyre delaminating, basically exploding. So that stopped proceedings in the sort of dying seconds of the session. So Lewis Hamilton, I'd say, got away with it, but actually no one was close to him yesterday. And it's strange because on Friday, he now says that he wasn't actually feeling very well. He was way off the pace, told me after the sessions on Friday that he was lacking power. So overnight, he posted a picture on Friday night at sort of midnight saying that he was the last one in the paddock, working really hard with his engineers to find the performance. And find the performance he did. And of course, setting that blistering time yesterday evening. But remains to be seen whether it'll all come together in the race. We don't know, as I say, what this track's going to be like, and a lot of different strategy options available to the drivers. So it's going to be an interesting one, both sort of on track, but also in the pit lane. It'll be interesting to see how the engineers deal with this conundrum.
Now, Rosanna, explain to me how this is going to work then. So should Verstappen win, it's going to be very difficult now with 2 races to go for Lewis to actually win the championship. But then if Lewis wins it, then it's just going to be ridiculously exciting, isn't it, towards the end?
Yeah, absolutely. 25 points awarded for a win in Formula One, with an extra point available if you take fastest lap. And we've seen both these teams, Red Bull and Mercedes, using their, in inverted commas, number 2 drivers, Sergio Perez for Red Bull and Valtteri Bottas for Mercedes, to try and set the fastest lap, almost not for their campaign, so to speak, but also for Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen's campaign, trying to stealing that fastest lap point away from them. So 26 points available this afternoon or this evening here in Doha. Of course, if Lewis Hamilton does win, he'll have a 7-point advantage because it's 18 points for second place in Formula One. So if Max Verstappen finishes in second place, that deficit will become a little smaller, dropping from 14 to 7 points. As you say, 2 more rounds to go and 2 tracks. Even though we've been to Abu Dhabi before in Formula One, they've changed the layout slightly for the season finale. And in a couple of weeks' time, we'll be in Saudi Arabia for the very first time in Formula One. So again, a track that these drivers do not know. So more jeopardy. And as you say, it's going to be incredibly exciting. I am hoping, as I think everyone is, that it will go down to the wire in Yas Marina Circuit in Abu Dhabi in 3 weeks' time.
You're brilliant with the numbers. I was getting lost there with the numbers, but that was magnificent. And finally, as far as the race is concerned, then, because if we've got Bottas in third, who's obviously Mercedes, then with Hamilton first on pole and Verstappen is their second, there's talk of this pincer movement. Now, how will they work together to try and win this race?
Well, it's going to be, as you say, it's a sort of 2 versus 1 situation, but you can't also rule out Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri. Now, I know AlphaTauri and Red Bull sound different, but they're owned by the same company. It's a sort of junior team, sister team to Red Bull. So Pierre Gasly could be all important as well, because Sergio Perez, Max Verstappen's teammate, starting really far back. So I think what Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton can do is they can force Max Verstappen into having to make some difficult decisions. So they might pit Valtteri Bottas and then force Max Verstappen to cover that off so that the Mercedes team can't get a 1-2. Or they could go long with Valtteri Bottas and then, again, force Red Bull into some difficult decisions. So, again, as always in life, it's better to have 2 as opposed to 1. And today it's Mercedes with 2.
And finally, briefly, in the stewards' room, I guess there's always seats for Toto Wolff and Christian Horner, isn't there? Because they probably always spend so much time in there throughout the whole Grand Prix. There's such a rivalry between those two as well, isn't there?
You're right. I think those two need to start paying rent for the stewards' room. They've been in and out of there, and still the drama is going on. Christian Horner still saying they're going to lodge protests about the Mercedes rear wing. And without getting too technical on a Sunday morning, there is a lot of controversy about the Mercedes rear wing moving in a way that it shouldn't, oscillating in a way that it shouldn't. But equally, just down the road in the pit lane in the Red Bull garage, they've had all sorts of drama with their rear wing. It's sort of, again, oscillating in a very strange way, sort of shaking. Max Verstappen assures me that that's not giving them any extra top speed. In fact, it's a disadvantage. So both teams watching each other very closely and ready to lodge protests and file appeals against the other. As you can imagine, every point is vital. So if they can disrupt the flow and the rhythm of their rivals, then they're going to do it.
Max would say that to you, though, wouldn't he? Thanks, Rosanna. Really good to speak to you. Enjoy the race. Thank you very much. That's it.
Thank you so much.